Hey folks, I got a new flashlight.
Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. The other day I received in the mail from CyanSky the P25 version 2 high performance tactical flashlight, and today we're going to take a look at it. Now when it comes to flashlights, I'm more of a kind of keep it simple kind of guy. And these new high-tech, multi-featured flashlights somewhat have me a bit bewildered, being a very analog kind of person. I think these flashlights come with more technology and higher technology than the first computer I owned many years ago. Let's go ahead and take this out of the package and take a good close look at it. Then we'll go over the functions, and then we're going to take it outside and play with it. Let's see here. Oh, here's the flashlight. Now, I believe this is billed as an EDC flashlight. And as far as EDC flashlights go, right off the bat, it looks a little bit large. However, have you ever tried to really try to do something and you've got the little teeny tiny EDC and you're trying to get a grip on it while you're doing something else? Sometimes it's just a whole lot easier to use something that's just a little bit bigger. Back in the day, the EDC to go to was the mini mag light, and if I'm not mistaken, the mini mag light is about this same length. So interesting finish on there. It's got some decent heft to it. I like that. Now let's see what else we have in here. We have a sheath or holster for it. Let's see. That looks really, really tiny. Oh, it holds pretty good there. Good fit. Don't know if that's something I would have on my belt or not, but that definitely would work. Maybe if that was adjustable. So we got the flashlight, we got the holster, we have a charging cable. And the reason we have a charging cable is because of this. There we go. Like a lot of new battery technology, and you see this in several other manufacturers, you can actually charge the battery. Now, if by any chance, I mean, you're like me, I wouldn't want to rely on this one. I would want to have another one just in case, but the idea that that's as rechargeable is fantastic. Charging cable. We have the instructions and a warranty card. We also have a flashlight clip, a lanyard, a spare switch cap of rubber, just in case that were to wear out, you could replace it, and 2 spare O-rings. Now, that's everything that comes in the box. Let's go ahead and see how it works. Now, as I was going through the instruction manual, learning its functions and seeing its specifications, there were a couple things that came to my mind. One of which is I actually really like the size and the weight. That feels fantastic in my hand. I remember I had a foam rubber sleeve that went over my mini mag light, so it just felt better in your hand. It's a comfortable diameter, and the weight heft is it's definitely heavier than a regular flashlight, but it feels good. And the other thing that came to my mind, that looks like Yoda's lightsaber. How cool is that? Well, that's a sales pitch right in itself, isn't it, folks? Now, that's, I like this. And as I was going through the functions, I kind of liked it even more. It's not as simple as I would probably like it, but it's pretty simple. Have the pressure switch back here. Lightly touch it, it comes on. Click it, it's on full time. Now, while it's on, you can push this button here, which, by the way, when you do any type of functions with it, you will notice that a green light goes on there indicating function. Now, we'll push this while it's on. We'll cycle through it real quick. That's the lowest setting. And the lowest setting is 50 lumens, and that will illuminate for 25 hours nonstop. And it will illuminate out to a distance of 24 meters. Its candelas is 144. We're going to go up to the next level, and this is medium. The first one was low. Medium is 200 lumens, and its constant run time would be 10 hours at a distance of 49 meters at 600 candelas. And we're going up to high, which is now 800 lumens, and that will go constantly for 3 hours at a distance of 97 meters and at the intensity of 2,350 candelas. And that is turbo. Now, turbo changes the intensity focus of the beam from a broader beam to a much more narrow beam. So the up-close appearance of turbo isn't going to be as obvious as it's going to be at a great distance. Turbo is an output of 3,600 lumens, 2-hour run time at a distance of 208 meters. And its intensity is 10,800 candelas. Now, that is bright. Now, it has a couple more features, and I'm going to get and take that all the way down to dim so you can see it. If I hold in on the side operating button, it goes to a strobe. I kind of like this strobe. You notice how it pulses? It goes from incredibly fast to slow to fast to slow. The reason why you would want to have a strobe to begin with is to disorient whoever it is you're shining it at, or whatever it is you're shining it at. And this changing of timing really, I think that would be much more beneficial than the constant. Because if it's a constant, you can get used to it and time it. You can go with it. But when it's constantly changing, you may think that you can move when all of a sudden you hit a dark spot. The timing changed. You now are disoriented even further. Now, there's another you can go to. I'm going to get through the strobe real quick and push it down again and hold it. See if you folks that know Morse code knows what this is. And for those of you that don't know Morse code, well, that is SOS. And to go back to the original or the last setting that you had, the light intensity, you just push it on and it goes back to the light intensity that you had it set it on before you went to the strobe or the SOS. Folks, I've been sent a few different flashlights from a few different companies. And the one thing that I've noticed about some of the smaller ones, their functions are a little more difficult to manage single-handed. And it's awkward. This, and I can do it a lot of different ways, you know. I can put it like this, but if I'm looking at something, it's right there. And you want to peek on there? Yeah. For the functions that this have, which is similar to a lot of other lights, I think the size makes those functions practical, because the little tiny EDCs have all those functions. You have to manipulate them in a two-handed way. And sometimes you just don't have two hands available to do it. That's the reason you're getting your light out to begin with, so you can do something with the other hand. But we're going to take this out. We've got to wait for it to get dark. And we're going to take this out, and I'm going to just see how much I can see through the woods. And you know, my camera's not great at night, but since I've got illumination, I'll just set the camera up behind me. You might not be able to see me except my silhouette, but you should definitely be able to see the field of illumination as I go through these functions. All right, folks, we're out in the woods, and we're going to test out the intensity of all the different settings of the CyanSky P25. Right now I'm illuminating myself with my standard EDC, which is by Energizer, and we'll just go ahead and do a couple little tests with this. We'll see if you can see anything, just so we can have a comparison. Now, this is on its low setting, which is pretty good. Go ahead and okay, this is a high setting. This is the low setting. Okay, this is the strobe. Not much of a strobe. Now we'll see the CyanSky P25 in action. Okay, let's see. Just touch, click. It's about the same as the low setting on my Energizer. Now I'm going to go to, let's see. Okay, this is the low setting. So that's the first setting it came on. That is medium. This is high. And that is turbo. So this is definitely pretty powerful. It's starting to snow a little bit. Now let's see what that strobe looks like. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not pleasant. There's SOS. Okay. And back on its last setting. And let's go ahead and take that down to low. Okay, folks, there's your test. And I have no idea what you were able to see through the camera's lens. I know I tried to set up the camera in a way to where you were going to be able to see about 150 to 200 yards over to the other hillside. And unfortunately, we have a little bit of haze, so I think a little bit of that was hampered by that. And we're getting a little bit of a snowfall right now. I don't know if you've seen it through the lens, but it's very sparse. But I do want to point out that as I'm testing this, this is with the factory charge. I did not charge it any more than the factory charge, so the intensity of the brightness could definitely be improved by charging it to full capacity. And it's pretty impressive. Now, as far as my first thoughts of this, I wasn't impressed. When I first looked at it, I said, oh yeah, another flashlight. But as I played with it, and as I handled it, and as I put it in my pocket, took it out of my pocket, put it in my belt, took it out of my belt, started putting it on my person in different ways in my cargo pocket, all of a sudden the handiness of this size really started to appeal to me. And especially after playing with the simplicity of the different settings, I'm pretty sure I'm a fan. As far as the color goes, of course you know me. Maybe not be that big of a fan. As far as its construction, it looks like it's made very, very well. And I didn't prolong the video giving all the specifications and all of the technical jargon that you know, a lot of folks do. If you want to know those things, go directly to their website, and I'll put their link in the description box below. And I'll also be posting an affiliate link to Amazon just in case you're interested in possibly picking one of these up, to go ahead and do so. But first thoughts, wasn't impressed. Play with it a little bit, I kind of liked it. Now, I like it very much. And I can't recommend this. All you know is what I know about it. Every time one of these companies sends me something to review, I explain to them, I cannot do a review in the time period that you want me to. The only time I do reviews is when I use something extensively for a long period of time. I can do an introduction and talk about it, but I can't do a review. So this is by no means a review. But as far as an introduction, I'm pleased that we were introduced. I'm going to be using this quite a bit throughout the year, and hopefully within about 6 months, I'll be able to have a good solid foundation by which to build an honest opinion. Well folks, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.